So, Jay Baba, friends, we have the pleasure of having Bobby Eaton as a guest today. Um, and I just wanted to read you a little uh, blurb that I found. Uh, Bobby Eaton is a fiercely inventive singer. This is Tony Joyce's website. He is a fiercely inventive singer, cellist, and composer for dance, theater, and film. He has performed as a soloist at Carnegie Hall. Uh, and what Hendrix did for the guitar, freeing it from its previous role and expectations, Robert Eaton does for the cello. This is Richard Cadre from the San Francisco Chronicle. I know none of us need an introduction. We are so familiar with Bob and his various what he has to offer. So I'm just going to turn it over to you, Bob. Well,
All right.
so
Thank
glad,
you.
glad you're here.
Jay Baba.
Jay Baba.
Jay
Baba
Baba.
be with us. Jay Baba.
Jay Baba. Thank you. Wow, here we are back on Zoom. But it works for this the sweep of us all. Let me get this window.
Doesn't it work though? Golly, it makes it so easy
It
to,
does. It really works.
yeah.
Let me see. Let's look at my screen. Let's see now. How do I do?
You look great from my angle.
Okay. All right. I can't really see myself. Let's see. Well, I was going to play some music. Whoever's
Great.
here, good to see you all. Um,
There are 10 of us now and more to come.
all right. And I just, Karen and I went to Australia and New Zealand this summer. Let me see if I can get this. Here we go. No, that's not right. I'm just trying to find the settings exactly right. So that was our first time. And we went to Avatar's Abode, which was, amazing. I can talk a little bit about that, or anybody, if anyone's been there, we could talk about that. And then we went to Sydney, to Mayher House in Sydney, and we're there for the anniversary of Baba's visit. And I think that was 58. And so the house is still there on the kind of suburbs of Sydney in a beautiful setting. And that's the house that Francis famously built from stone.
Wow.
And I got to perform there and, share some music. And so that was, yeah, it was just beautiful, amazing to see that part of the world and to think, that Baba was there too.
Yeah.
That was kind of was my takeaway. It was kind of astounding.
Bob, could you see the stone? Was the stone visible?
Yes, it's gorgeous. I mean, the way the Mayher House in Sydney is built, it is like it's like a 50s, we would, call it like a mid-century stone and wood kind of, just that classic. It's very beautiful. And the wood, I mean, the stonework. So Francis started, and you see some foundation work that is kind of crude. And then he got this stone mason that was nearby that worked with him. And it's just beautifully crafted, big blocks of stone right from there. I think he was taking it maybe right from the property or just adjacent. So, and it's up on a hill, it's called Beacon Hill. So it's quite a beautiful setting. And it's hard to imagine, of course, because what is that? I mean, that's almost 60 plus years, almost 70 years. It's all built in, and all kinds of skyscrapers are down the hill and, but you still see the ocean and it's a beautiful setting. So yeah, it really made me think about Francis and just getting to Australia from here, it's a long ways. But you realize, even from India, it's a long ways. And that, And it's not on the way to anywhere else. That's kind of what I also, so for Baba to go there, that's a really big statement. That was one of my takeaways. It was like, boy, he really went. So I don't know, see if this works.
Bob, is your what is it? I can't think of the word. Original sound, is that on?
Let me get that. I should get that. Uh, Disable.
It's in
It's in
audio.
audio.
Yeah, let me find that. Yeah, I haven't been on Zoom for a while. Let's see now. Where is that again? View. Oh, this would help. Look at gallery view. Sound. Let me find it. Yeah, remind me, where is that again?
Ariana,
You,
I
I think it must,
because
I
You,
know.
are you hearing that now?
Yeah.
I will see. Well, just mentioning Beacon, the Beacon Hill. I have a piece called The Beacon, so I think I'll do that. See if you can hear this. Let there be love. Let there be love. Be here now. Be here right now. Be here right now. Be here right now. Be here right now. Let there be love. Be here now. Be here right 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 now. Be here right, be here right, be here right, be here right, be here right now. Jai Baba. So that piece is called The Beacon, and I wrote that, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, thinking about Baba's love coming, out as a beacon of light, a beacon of love to all of us. And then there I was in Australia at the Sydney Mayhair House, and it's on Beacon Hill, because traditionally there is a harbor kind of down the hill from there, and it was a high point, and they had, beacon lights for the sailors and whatnot, because it was a high piece of ground adjacent to the water. So yeah, Baba is our beacon. Yeah, so Australia was quite interesting. It's a whole nother world. Has anyone been there from our group here? Yeah, all right. It's a long ways to go, but it's more accessible probably than ever. When I think about Baba going there, 67 years ago or something, boy, I mean, all his traveling in India and everywhere, just unbelievable. It always
Oh, well,
causes
Oh, well,
me.
just
just
Yes.
I'm
I'm
actually
actually
in
in
Australia.
Australia.
Ah,
I was
I
going to
was going
come
to
and
come and
see you, but I fell and dislocated my knee and couldn't get across because I'm in Albany, which is 5 hours drive south of Perth on the other side of Australia, so even more isolated than the east of Australia. But so I'm sorry I missed you, but I was going to try and get over there for for the anniversary. It was 56. Barbara came to Sydney, and 58 into Queensland to Avatar's abode.
right. Didn't he come twice?
Yeah,
Yeah,
56 to
56 to
Sydney
Sydney
and then
and then
58
58
to
to
Avatar.
Avatar.
58. Ah, okay. Thank you. Right. Awaken me, 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 awaken me. Show me the way to the light. Lead me from the shade to the light. Open up my eyes to the sight. I want to see the sun rise. Awaken me, 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 awaken me. Show me the way to the light. Lead me from the shade to the light. Open up my eyes to the sight. I want to see the sun rise. Um, and so, yes, I got up to Avatar's abode also. So we were in Sydney for the anniversary. Before that, I was in, Karen and I were both in Avatar's abode for a week. And Charmaine, who I know a lot of you probably know, she had been in Myrtle Beach when I was there with a lot of you guys in, when was that? April? I think it was April. As when I was there for artist in residence. So we did all the workshops, and a lot of you were there singing with me and performing in Myrtle Beach. And so Charmaine, Australian Baba lover, and I told Charmaine that we were going to be there. So she kind of worked out a similar schedule at Avatar's Abode. So we did workshops and we had a wonderful participation of people and concerts. And so it was a really wonderful residency, would say. So we were there teaching songs, and it was just a beautiful place. So again, Avatar's Abode is up on top of a hill, and you look out and you can see the ocean in the distance, and it's a beautiful, pastoral setting. It's literally up on a mountain. What is it, Keel Mountain? So it's really beautiful. So I would say a lot of the time I was there in Australia, we were in Sydney and then in Melbourne. So we were in the really urban areas. So when you're at Avatar's Abode, you're really out in the countryside. So it's just beautiful, really stunning. So I taught a lot of songs, and we, did several concerts. And actually, I've been working because I've been recording songs over the years of the Baba songs, and I just haven't been releasing them really. But I'm trying to work on that. And there's also a great video that Michael LePage made of the last concert I did in at Avatar's Abode. So that'll be at some website soon, I hope. Yeah.
What was the Sahavas like when you were at the Sahavas? Sahavas happened at Beacon Hill, right? Yeah. What was that like?
Yeah, well, there are two separate things. I was there a week at Avatar's Abode. So that was, in a way, a Sahavas. Although people weren't in residence, they were just the local people. And Sydney was 2-day kind of weekend Sahavas, I would say. Full days. Actually, Buzz and Wendy were there from Myrtle Beach. And they were kind of special guests. So they spoke, and then I did some concerts as well. I was an uninvited guest. I just arrived. But it was wonderful. So, yeah, and it was beautiful. The Baba's room there, the living room at, now we're in Sydney, is just a beautiful room, as I was mentioning earlier. The stone and wood work, is just, it's classic mid-century, I would say. Beautifully done. Yeah, and they've kept it just, really beautifully, just like it was for Baba. Yeah. So we had 2 full days of Baba stories and Baba music and all that. So it was wonderful. And then Avatar's Abode, I had a whole week with people there, and that was just, just beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, I highly recommend visiting those places. They're distinct. They're different from Myrtle Beach. It's different from places we have here in the States, but it's also just remarkable to be there. And to think Baba, really, the effort. I guess again, I was struck by the effort Baba took to take that kind of trip. I mean, obviously he did that all the time. That's the other thing. He was always traveling. And sometimes, I think I started saying this when I complain about my own traveling, and I'm, I'm, schlepping a cello around, and that's, that adds to the travel headache, you could say. But, and then I compare it to what Baba did and his trips and the Blue Bus or this one or the Must tours. I just think, I've got it so easy. I shouldn't complain at all. Baba set a amazing kind of tour schedule so that none of us could ever touch. I see Cliff there, and he's been on the road, and I'm sure compared to Baba, what can we say? Yeah, I feel very fortunate. It took me a long time, to get there. Obviously, I've been invited because I met Bill LePage, back in the mid '90s, probably, and Diana. And Diana still lives there on Avatar's Abode in their house there. So we saw her a couple of times. And Michael LePage lives adjacent there. And Jenny and Ross Keating, of course, they live in Sydney. So we saw them. So yes, we're fortunate that we get to see a lot of them when they come to the States. But to get there, is remarkable. But it is different. It has a different feel. It has another, um, you know, perspective on the world, could say, which is really beautiful. Okay. Yes, I know. It's always, well, anyway, we hear a lot about Francis, obviously, and of course he bought the property at Avatar's abode and found that, which is kind of remarkable in its own. And then he lived, of course, and he built the house and was involved in Sydney. So he's kind of the pivotal. So I wanted to do some pieces for Francis, and what I had is I haven't used his poetry set to music, and I know a lot of people have, but I haven't done that. But what I did do was incidental music for a play that that Michaeline Saylor and Ralph Brown wrote a couple of years ago, and we did it at Meharana probably about 7 or 8 years ago, called Mighty Beloved. And I hope they do that more because it's a beautiful play about the life of Francis. So what I had from that, I did incidental music, so just the change of scenery, kind of, so I'll do 3 pieces that are from this play that are just short, but about with the idea of Francis. In the whole play is about Francis. So the first one is called Stone Building, and he was involved in building that. So it's stone building. I think of it as both a verb and a noun. Stone building. And let's see what else. Then there's a dictionary of beauty, which is his phrase, and then there is Cool Cat. So I'm going to do those 3. And Cool Cat comes from a part of the story of his life where he comes to New York. He in the mid 50s, and he's there as a poet, and he's going to the nightclubs, hearing beat poets, hearing the jazz scene in New York in the 50s. So I hadn't known that before this play about his life. So I thought, wow, Francis was living the life of a beat poet, in New York, which is kind of astounding. Because I'd always associated him with rural kind of Australia, but of course then India comes later and everything. So anyway, so I'm going to do the stone building, and as a tribute to Francis, I think, and Betty mentioned that I use some extended techniques for cello, and I don't think anyone has ever played the cello with a pen. So I'm going to do that in tribute to Francis, playing the cello with a pen, since the pen was so important to his communication of words. Whoops, sorry. Jai Baba. Yeah, those are three for Francis. Yeah, and so you get a sense of Francis's personality, especially, I would say. That's a strong takeaway for me, and his, of course, and Baba's, affection for him and a reliance on him as a stalwart Mondley member, and then as Baba's poet, so it's really remarkable. But the physical, approach and all the work, you really see all the building, the work literally that Francis did in Australia. I mean, he's just, you just feel like Baba wouldn't be there without Francis. All Avatar's Abode and Mayher House in Sydney would not be there without Francis. And of course, Bill LePage came as the next kind of, also, but Francis is the pivotal one. So, some more music. This, I'll do a few more pieces, and then we can talk some more. This one's for Mara. But how to sing the beauty of your eyes that mine behold, your eternal gaze of your love. Baba. Beloved Baba. Baba, I long for you all my days and nights, consumed by you, and I will sing the beauty of your love, which I behold. I will sing to you of love, of your love. And the beauty of you. You are the one that I love. You are the one that I love. You are the one that I love. You. love. Jai Baba, thank you. Put the chat on. I'm gonna do. I'll do three pieces together now from my. I've been working with the poetry of Walt Whitman, Jalaluddin Rumi, and William Shakespeare. So each of those, we go back to 1300 for Rumi, 1500 for Shakespeare, and middle 1850s, say, for Whitman. And first I'll do Whitman is a Louisiana. It's called piece called Louisiana, about his trip. He traveled around the States a good bit. Let's see. And then Tear the Bindings, which is a text of Rumi. And the last piece I'll do is Sonnet number 30 of Shakespeare, and that I call it Sorrow's End. I saw in Louisiana I saw in Louisiana a live oak growing all alone stood it. And though the live oak glistens there in Louisiana, uttering joyous leaves all its life without a friend, a lover near. Uttering joyous leaves all its life without a friend, a lover near. I know very well I could not. Tear the bindings from around your heart. Let it run free. Let it fly free. And let it soar. Let it soar. Let it tear the bindings from around your heart. Let it run free. Let it fly free. And let it soar. Let it soar. Let it Went to the sessions of sweet silent I summon up remembrance of things past. I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new wail my dear time's waste. Then can I drown an eye unused to flow for precious friends hid in death's dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, and moan the expense of many a vanished sight. Then can I grieve of grievances foregone, and heavily from woe to woe tell o'er the sad account of fore-bemoaned moan, which I knew pay as if not paid before. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end. Jai Baba. Thank you. I see, Betty, you have a request. Yes, I'll do that next. And then we can have some time to chat, talk. And of course, Betty requested Your Life Is Not Your Own. And that has a story, as all these songs have stories. And I was in India, and I had the opportunity I was listening to Erich in Manley Hall in Merzad. And he told a story about Kumar, and I'm sure you all know the story of Kumar, who kind of, he's an atheist at that time, and he's in jail. Jailed by the British as a instigator, as a revolutionary. And he kind of cavalierly says to someone, I'll believe in God if I'm released from prison before dawn tomorrow. It's like, yeah, right. But then, of course, he doesn't even know Baba at this point, but then sure enough, he's released. The British kick him out before dawn the next day. So he has to fulfill that promise. He remembers that, and he finds his way, and he finally does meet Baba, and he becomes one of Baba's close mandali. And the next day, I had the opportunity to see Erich again in the trust office, just briefly, and I just said, but Erich, for some of us who maybe don't have such a clear sign, like Kumar had this clear sign, how do we serve God? What do we do? How do we find our way? And Erich said, it's really quite simple. There are two things you have to remember. First of all, you have to resolve to do it. Resolve to serve God. Second, remember your life is not your own. And so I took that and returned to my room in Mehrabad. And so I wrote this song, and all the other, Erich's words are, your life is not your own. I added all the other words, so with his permission. Your life is not your own, so just get used to it. You might not want to leave, but you've got to let go. Your life is not your own, surrender now. Just when you're holding tight, you'll be asked to let go. Where do we go from here? Back into the universe. Maybe I'll see you there. stars. Your life is not your own, so just get used to it. You might not want to leave, but you've got to let go. Your life is not your own. Surrender now. Just when you're holding tight, you'll be asked to let go. Where do we go from here? Back into the universe. Maybe I'll see you there, flying among the Your life is not your own, so just get used to it. You might not want to leave, but you've got to let go. Your life is not your own. Surrender now. Just when you're holding tight, you'll be asked to let go. Where do we go from here? Back into the universe. Maybe I'll see you there, flying among the stars, flying among the stars. Your life is not your own. Audio settings, let me go here. So we could talk a little bit. I just turned off original sound, see if that
I was
changes.
gonna ask you if you wanted to do the Baba Baba Meher. What was it we were chanting? You taught us at the Meher Center. Meher, remember the
Yeah.
chant?
Yeah, we could do that. We sing Meher Baba. I mean, there are different ones.
I know, and I can't remember. I have it recorded, but I haven't done it in a while.
Let's do this one.
It was so much fun.
Good, good. Everybody, you can sing along. You just listen to it once. We sing Meher Baba, Meher Baba. We sing Meher Baba, Meher Baba. We go again. We sing Meher Baba, Meher Baba. We sing Meher Baba, Meher Baba. We repeat again. We sing Meher Baba, Meher Baba. We sing Meher Baba, Meher Baba. To do one variation, we sing Hallelujah. We sing Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. One more time, hallelujah. We sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. We sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Meher Baba again. We sing Meher Baba. Meher Baba. We sing Meher Baba. Meher Baba. One more time, you want to add harmony? We do so. Sing Meher Baba. Meher Baba. We sing Meher Baba, Meher Baba. Sometimes if I think of this as a prayer, we can just add,
Bob, I think if there's a musician, I don't know a musician who's more interactive than you. And
well,
the Zoom format is really a challenge for that. But
yes, it is, because I can't hear you all singing, but I'm sure you're singing beautifully.
Rosalie asks for songs to Erico, and she wanted that You Are Not a, I want to give her credit. She really likes You Are Not.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
nice.
thank you. Yeah, I could do a version for, well, yes, a couple of things I was thinking about was Erich's day of passing was August 31st. We just passed that, and I know Devana had been at Myrtle Beach. I happened to watch her talk about Erich. And I think it was on the 31st, maybe. So that anniversary just came. And also, speaking of anniversaries, was the anniversary of Erico's passing, which was, I'm gonna get the day now, but it was early September in 2009. So that's already 15 years ago.
I do. I'm curious about how you came to Baba. Is that
Yeah. Well, I was actually on my first trip to India and with Karen, my wife, and I met Erich, and I would say that's his embrace on the veranda in Merzad was the moment where it all clicked. So that was, and Karen had been a Baba lover, and she had gone to India many times, and when we got married, she said, you have to go to India. And I said, yes, I want to go to India, but when I go, I'm going to go see the Taj, I'm going to go to the Himalayas, and I go to the South India, I've got to go to Goa. And so when do I ever have time for that? So I didn't for a number of years. And then finally, thank goodness, I just said, okay, I'm not going to worry about all those other places. I'm just going to go to Merzad, and just do the Baba thing. And so finally I did it, and I've never been to the Taj, and I've never been to Himalayas, and after that, no interest, because I just, so I'm really happy I finally got there. And, I've been going back and now for many years. And Karen is just coming back today from India. She went for 2 weeks after Australia, but I just felt I had to come home. I had too many. It had been a long trip. We were gone like 6 or 7 weeks to Australia and New Zealand. I did a 2 week tour of New Zealand, which was really fun and interesting, fabulous, but exhausting.
Were you with the Baba group there?
No, actually, we didn't connect to Baba lovers. We have old friends in the South Island, and they helped set up a tour, and we stayed with them. And they were working with rescuing yellow-eyed penguins on the east coast of the South Island of New Zealand. So we were involved with that too.
How do they do that? How do they rescue a penguin? What do you?
Yeah, they're under. Essentially, they're trying to save the eggs once they're making nests, helping support nests because it's habitat loss essentially. So the penguins come ashore into these kind of little bushy areas and lay 2 eggs. A pair will have 2 eggs. But then there are predators, which weren't there before, like weasels, and I think even rabbits will get in there to eat the eggs. So that's one way they're trying to save them, is put out traps for the predators who weren't there naturally, who have just been introduced. And then also help build little nests for them to use along this coast. It's the east coast of South Island.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's really quite something. So anyway, yeah, that's how I came to Baba, and I've been with Baba ever since.
Karen got you. Well, Baba got you.
Yeah, Karen, right, was my connection.
She brought you.
I didn't feel the urgency initially, which I kind of regret now because I missed some of the Mondley, but it's Baba's timing, so I'm thankful that it all.
Does anybody else have questions or comments? We can talk
Bob,
now.
Bob, it's interesting that Karen's just been to India. My 2 New Zealand friends have been there too. They're just
Oh yeah, Karen just had pictures of them. She said they're
Jill and Marama.
Yeah. Karen met them and sent a picture of them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Small world in the Baba world.
Right, that's right, exactly.
Oh. Anyone else? Well, I think we have to have a whole new concert. We have to figure out.
I have a question. So Bob, you talk about your coming to Baba with Arch's embrace, and
Yeah.
you explained that beautifully. And I'm just wondering about your daily practice with Baba, how much music and sound, and you do different kinds of things that are like chants. And I know that you're very much believing that Baba's, doing everything with you, whether it's Baba music or not. So as you play, you're always thinking of Baba, and but that, like, in your daily practice, just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, I actually, just backing up a little bit, Betty, too, I could say, I mean, I had a Christian upbringing, and I was involved in church a lot and in choir, and my mother was the director of the choir. And, so I had a lot of Christian, and I felt I, had a connection to Christ, and I, had a religious feeling. But then I did get, disillusioned with the church, I would say, with the formality, with the religion of it. And then I was pursuing Buddhism and studying Zen when I was in college. I went to Japan and spent a summer in there, basically studying the Zen arts, and, I was practicing meditation. That's just to say that I still do sitting meditation. I would say I like it a daily practice if I can. That doesn't always happen, but I find that's an excellent tool, that I took from Buddhist meditation. And then I married Karen, and she's Jewish background, so I really got into and lived in New York and worked with all these artists in New York. There's so much Jewish influence there. So I feel like I went through Christianity and Buddhism and then Judaism, and then finally got to Baba, so when I got to Baba, it was like, I was it was like a done deal really fast. There was no hesitation. And I know Gary Kleiner, who you all know, and I think of him fondly, miss him sometimes. And he would say, he would call me a walk-on, that he had that word for people who just arrived and became Baba lovers. Like, oh, he's a walk-on. So I was like, but anyway, so I do like to do some sitting meditation that comes from the Buddhist background, but Baba also, has a meditation practice and encouraged people. And then I would say music, yes. Sometimes I get tired of my own songs, so I get tired of singing those. And yet more recently, I've thought, wait, but this is an opportunity to sing Baba's name, for instance, if it's a Baba song. So it's like, oh, why not? I should just do that, as, I can warm up on it. I can practice it. And I'm singing Baba's name. That's why I also love, the workshop that we did in Myrtle Beach, and I did a workshop in Avatar's Abode, and that we get to sing Baba's name. It's a win-win-win. Baba gets to hear his name. We get to sing his name. We get to hear his name. We're resonating together also. So I do like to do that. Try to practice a little bit of every day. And then I'm going to be teaching back at UCLA in a couple of weeks. So then that's in the mix also. So the daily practice is a mix of teaching and composing and practicing. But then the practice is also, you got a physical practice, you got a vocal practice, you got a cello practice, So then that's what, with Baba, there are lots of things to practice. There's no end. Thankfully, we could also say.
Just commenting on your workshop, because I was here and I went to almost all of it.
Yeah.
And I am, exploring singing a lot more now. And
Beautiful.
it's just, I guess partly because I'm so interested in what you're doing for the workshop. So my heart is in to what you're doing, but your ability to open people up, no matter who, I feel like it was the best workshop experience I could ever remember. I mean, it really, for everybody that did it, and there was so much Baba in it, and it's like such a part of your, the way that you do everything, and then you have the Buddhist thing, which is like kind of that perfect balance to Christianity and all that, the stuff about Christianity and Judaism too, that's
Yeah.
kind of like the dogma of it that we grow up with, that the
Yeah.
Buddhism is a different perspective.
Right.
And covers another area that we don't really get into too much in Christianity. So
Yeah.
it's incredible, man.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, thank you. I mean, I would come back to the thing also. Baba says, I am closer to you than your very breath. I just can't help keep repeating that. We could say that to ourselves each day. So anything we do with breath, anything we think about with our breath, consciously, unconsciously, thank goodness we don't have to think about our breath, but then we can also direct our breath. And that's one of the things I teach, is breathing and singing. But I just keep coming back to how fortunate, if we're going to think about breath, if we're going to emphasize our own breath, work out, whatever, Baba says, I am closer to you than your very breath, which, it doesn't get closer than that. He is our breath. You could say that. He is our breath. Baba is our breath. So again, that just, that connection and the daily remembrance of that connection is really powerful. And the vehicle is breath.
once a week we get together and we sing on Zoom individually the seven
Yeah.
names of God, the seven. And
Right.
wow, it's just something. There's Baba put powerful energy into that
Yeah.
chant. Yeah.
No, that's right. That's a beautiful piece. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. So I encourage people to sing every day if my students and stuff, if they can. But so yeah, I'm happy here, Cliff, you're singing because that's just a beautiful thing. Because I also believe everybody is a singer. Everybody is a singer, and we can say you're good or not bad, this or that. But in a way, with the Baba world, there's no judgment. Baba wasn't judging singers. He was getting everybody. If you wanted to share a song, I've just been reading some Bal Natu stories, and Bal's saying, this guy really wasn't known as a very good singer, but Baba kept asking him to sing, but Baba would say, oh, fantastic. And he wasn't judging that. It was like, if you wanted to sing a song of praise, so be it.
It's so personal. Since I do the music thing professionally, singing is the most personal instrument. It's
Yeah.
incredible, like how revealing it is. Yeah.
Well, that's part of it too. That's part
Yeah.
of the beauty and the vulnerability,
Yeah.
the sensitivity and the self-consciousness that comes with it. Yes.
Yeah. And just getting used to that, it's really been helpful to me. And
Yeah.
now that I've been doing it for a while now and writing a lot more, I'm feeling more confident and more
Yeah.
unhung up about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very empowering. Yeah. But your workshops are incredible. So it's really an order that I'm really feeling directly from Baba inwardly, that Baba is saying that, Bob, you must come to the Meher Center regularly and do workshops.
Yeah.
It's very clear.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like a bell going off.
now that's beautiful. I'd love to do
Yeah,
it.
man.
Yeah. Well, we could talk to Buzz about it, I guess. So
Well, and also, whenever you do a Sahavas, I've gotten to do maybe one or two with you.
yeah. Yeah.
And you
So,
do the same thing and on whatever level. But it was great when you did the artist in residency because you did a lot.
it's good to have several days where you can kind of
Yeah,
get
it
it.
was so good. Yeah. And
Um,
Billy's here. He says hi.
yeah. Oh,
He
good.
played
Yeah.
last night.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I saw
just
Billy.
saw him at Baba's house. And
Beautiful.
yeah.
Right. Right. That should be fantastic.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
man.
won't be there for that.
I got to say, Bob, last night Billy needed a small ensemble to support a few songs, so I went there and I just went cold, and I was immediately thinking of breathing in order not to blow out my. And so it always comes in handy.
Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt. It never hurts to breathe.
Right.
That is a moment where you're remembering Baba. If you can remember to breathe, you could really say. So, good thing.
Yeah,
That's
I
great.
find, being this amateur singer, that your workshop had a very positive effect on me in terms of getting the breath before the phrase. And if I was working directly with you, then I would probably get really good at it because I would get my breathing all the time correctly. But it really, that impression of getting the breath before you go to sing, and anything that is problematic, you just keep thinking breathing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Bob, I've been very into Baba's mystical language that he spoke through Narina Machabeli. And one of the lines, there's many lines, but it is vibrational.
Yeah.
It's using, like Baba says, you don't have to understand it. It's not an intellectual exercise. Yeah. So interestingly enough, because we've been speaking our language, the beginning, before we were walking really, starting, we're very attached to how we in our culture speak our language. Well, the transmissions that came through Narina and they're all, not all, but there's most of them are in the Mayor Baba journals. And
Right.
there's a couple of lines that I'm thinking of. One is, I here act in mind, in vibration, to make in you life grow. And that line always helps me, you know. And it says, your life is, your breath is the very life you live. I forget exactly how it said. And there's another, it says, love and sing in.
Mhm.
Love life's use in praise, in loving me, in all, in any. I thought some of those lines put to cello. Oh my Lord. Yeah. Yeah. I've been looking around to see who I could see who would, you know, pick up on it. But you know, it's vibrational, and but
Yeah, we are vibrational and resonant beings.
yeah.
That's the thing. When you sing and you start working with breath and singing, you realize, I mean, we realize, we know that, but it's a confirmation that we resonate as you sing. Your whole body can resonate. So it's a beautiful, powerful thing. And that's how kind of how music works. You know, you could say it's vibrations. That's how we perceive it. That's how we feel it. That's why music is so powerfully emotional, you know, you know, touch emotions that words sometimes fall short because of that vibrational, you know, resonant aspect of it.
You
Which is-
know, I will say what Cliff said. The center, like Baba relocated me here, so I'm right across the street from the center. To me, it's truly gone through the head. I mean, I came here in 1971. I did not come to the head, you know, and you know, creation and its causes, and well, you know, it's like we need more of that singing vibration, you know. I mean, it's like if I feel anything about the center, I know Baba wants me here. And I thought, why do you want me here? Because Elizabeth Patterson, I would have an ongoing conversation when I travel from California. You say, well, Rosalie, what are you thinking of doing now? And this one time I said, and it was so good, I said, I want to be a comedian, Elizabeth. And she says, and she was very straightforward with her response. She says, well, now, Rosalie, that's possible. And she said the best thing, but now, Rosalie, you're going to have to learn to listen, because everything you can say, you already know. I laughed about that for 40 years because I thought, that's right. Yeah. And why wouldn't you listen? What purpose do you have performing if you're not listening to the audience and the highest in the audience? Because then you're, you know, if you go to the lower level, you go down with them. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I really wish you'd yeah, come this way. Come this way. I'm not waiting for any one person, Buzz or whatever. You know, I've got a good mind.
I'll find my way there. I'll be back.
Yeah, do
Not
come
sure
back.
when.
Come back.
Baba willing.
Baba will be willing. He will be willing. Believe me, you know. And he said it was his home in the West.
Yeah.
Now, an intellectual home, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Right. Oh, home in your heart.
Yeah, of course. That's where it was when I came here.
Right.
very hard, you know. Yeah. Anyway, certainly Billy's not doing intellectual. Yeah.
Oh, Bob, so somehow Bob has orchestrated this, so we had some music and then we had some exchange, which is always really important.
Yeah, yeah, good.
We'll study up on it and see if we can.
Yeah, I've got to keep figuring this out.
Yeah.
Well-
Bob, you did something in Los Angeles after you left here in Myrtle Beach.
With Patrick and with.
Oh, yes, yes.
How did that go? What did you
Yeah,
do?
that was beautiful. Yeah. Sarah Pearson and Patrick Vidrig did a site piece with their dance company at the LA Center.
Wow.
Was it recorded?
I think, you know, they had a person videotaping and they are editing it, I think, together.
Okay,
Wow.
good.
It was beautiful. It was a day after, you know, afternoon, about an hour performance on the grounds. And it just was beautiful. Perfect afternoon in April. Yeah, that was beautiful.
It was only one day, a one-day
It
thing.
was one day,
Oh, okay.
but they taped it, they videoed it. So
Oh, good.
I haven't seen it, but it should come, you know, be available to us to see. Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
thank you.
Thank you all. Jai Baba.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bob.
Thanks for
Jai
coming
Baba.
of the night, Petra. You came the
Thank you,
farthest.
Bob. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai
Yeah,
Baba.
Jai Baba. Come back again. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
Jai
Great to see
Baba.
you.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Jai Baba.
Hey,
Yeah.
Baba. Please say hi.
Yes. Everybody.
Jai Baba.
To Karen, please say hello.
Well, yes, absolutely. I'll see her.
All right. Jai Baba, all off we go.
Jai Baba, everybody.
Jai
Thank you.
Baba.
Baba.